Hello and welcome back to Hollowponds Solo Sagas, where today we will be playing the 5th episode of Series 2 of Twilight 2000. Series 2, Twilight 2000, people wanted it back, and it's back! So thank you very much for my subscribers. If you are a subscriber, thank you very much. You are incredibly appreciated. Thank you so much indeed. If you are not a subscriber yet, please consider subscribing. There's a little thing at the bottom to suggest how you do it, which is clicking the little button that says subscribe. You can also click the notification bell if you want to see when episodes come out. Thank you very much to everyone who supports the channel in all of the ways that you do support, by watching, by some financial support. I've had the odd person do the super thanks. You can do a super thanks, or there's a join tab and there's a membership thing where you can support on an ongoing basis. If YouTube sends me some money, I am going to get the expansion, the Hostile Waters expansion for Twilight 2000, which will then expand the map and gives a bigger part of the map for us to explore. And to do that, you can become a member, and there are then the members' names streaming across the top. And at some point, maybe we'll have to change the format and do it in a different way. Anyway, thank you very much to you all, and thank you very much for all your support. I'm trying to get that done as quickly as possible. And so, thank you. On with the show. So, where did we leave our team? We had that skirmish. In looking back at the footage and doing the editing, which I do, you wouldn't guess by looking at it, but maybe the jump cuts, you can see that I do edit it. I don't know, maybe it worked, maybe it didn't work. I think for small scale skirmishes, doing Theatre of the Mind is quite a good idea because you can roll through fast. I was thinking about it in like the process. I don't think even doing Theatre of the Mind that would have reduced the time it took to do that combat, because it was 8v, I don't know, I think we're about 7 or 8 now. 8v8, and that's a bit, that is a lot of numbers for the type of rolling and the combat system that Twilight 2000 is, which is a bit, it's a bit gritty, number crunchy. And so I think it would still have taken that sort of time for a mid-range combat like that. And so that tier and above, I think using the map and the counters works fine for that sort of tier, maybe about 8 aside, that seems to work fine. But I think for the bigger ones, or when there's a lot of working parts, like the vehicles, I might switch over to doing the skirmishes and still use the miniatures. That might work well. I think it's sort of an impromptu mid-tier to throw that map down and throw the counters down is quite easy to do. You don't have to clear the table and get out the terrain and set things up and make it look pretty, though I do like doing that. So anyway, that was just a little bit of a review of that bit. I think doing that, I mean, we need to use the map and the counters a couple more times and see how that works, but I think it's fine for that mid-tier type encounter. Anyway, we had that mid-tier encounter. There was, we pulled out an encounter card from the deck, and the encounter card said that there was a roadside bomb. A Soviet Jeep goes up, so we do have I believe we've got an Indian Special Forces Soviet trooper, so we might do that. We've also still got one of the marauders tied up underneath, well, tied up somewhere, because we've moved the Bradley, so they're not under the Bradley anymore. Maybe we would have, I completely forgot about that geezer. Maybe we'd have left him with the people in the wreckage. Tracy, I've forgotten your surname, mentioned about on the map, the dots, ruins, say that they're struck by tactical nukes. I couldn't find that anywhere within the 4E books. It doesn't mean it's not there, it just means I couldn't find it. And all I could find is that they're ruined. So basically they've been hit by ordnance of some form to basically wreck the buildings, or firefights have raged through here, probably because there's a bridge here, and that city has been wrecked. So as we have seen on the news footage for various different cities and formats, so that image that I put up, I believe is from Ukraine, and you can probably do a Google search on the image and it'll tell you. And in fact, I will do in the edit, I'll do that and I'll say where it comes from. I'll put it down here. And so that wouldn't have used tactical nuclear weapons to create that wreckage, but still you can have ruins. So I think in general, and I mentioned this to Tracy, but I'll say it here as well. I think in general, I will not be using too many, unless it comes out on a card that there's some fallout of some kind. I think tracking the radiation and various things like that is just going to become, if all of these places are dotted with nuclear weapons, this becomes a lot different sort of game that I want to play. But some things would have been hit with nukes, you know, like the bigger cities. But the smaller cities, I don't know why they would have hit them with nukes, and so I'm not doing that. But if in your game, bang on, feel free. You'd need to track radiation a lot more. Your people are going to get sick from radiation sickness, so you're going to need to find meds to overcome that. I think finding the meds to overcome radiation sickness within this world at this moment in time would be a logistical nightmare, and basically your people are going to die quite quickly in quite gruesome ways, as it is not a pleasant death. And so but that is not what particularly I want to play, and so that's not what I'm doing. But Tracy's quite right, and if you want to play it round, there's more tactical nuclear warheads we utilised during this conflict. That's cool. But as far as I can glean, you know, they are pulled out at certain stages, and I don't think either side, in my mind, would have used that in general and widespread across this area, in my mind, because, you know, you've still got civilians living around here, you've still got various other things here, and that's, you know, because if it was as quick and easy to start pulling that stuff out, in recent years, we'd have seen it pulled out, most definitely, within recent years, and we haven't been, so I don't know whether it would. Like, if that starts kicking off for the rest of this year, I will blame myself forever. But anyway, enough of that nonsense. I am in no way qualified to have these discussions anyway, so we'll leave it at that. So anyway, there was an IED by the side of the road here. The Jeep we rescued the one survivor. The survivor is with the people within Rocklaw. I guess our survivor from the Marauder that we had was in Rocklaw. The Marauders came to check out what they had caught within their trap, what rewards they could get. They began scavenging. As we hit them in the Bradley, we took out the 8 of them that were there, which means that the main camp is going to be significantly reduced in strength, so we would probably want to scout that and hit that just to make sure that it's okay. But Jane did suffer an injury and was knocked unconscious from a bullet strike to her Kevlar helm, which is where we then rejoin. The team is on the road. They would have recovered the weapons, and someone would have gone over to heal Jane, which I haven't done yet because I got down here. Toby, heal roll for Jane. We would also need to check out the Jeep, their Jeep, as well as the wrecked Jeep, because we wouldn't have had time to do that. And that's it. So I've got 6 days to heal the Soviet Spec Ops person, who is now with Rocklaw. So he's still unconscious, but we still know that there are captives at the Marauder base that we need to go and sort out. So this session, first off, we're going to do Jane healing. Then we will we'll continue with, so that was in the evening of the 12th of May. We'll now do the night of the 12th of May, where we'll probably rest up, and then first thing in the morning, staff will go out and check out the Marauder base. Maybe we'll take a Jeep. We'll take one of the Jeeps. That'll be easier than taking the Bradley. Take a Jeep, because we can just dump it and whatever, and then come down and have a look. So first off, Toby needs to see about Jane. Jane got struck in the head. It was, so she is unconscious. Now you can die from these injuries if you're not treated quickly enough. So we want Jane, who has in full damage, and Toby. Now, because I was thinking, whilst I was doing menial household chores earlier on today, Toby is our only medical person, and he isn't very good at this. So based on how stuff's been going and how we've been getting injuries and not being able to heal very well, there's a chance, I mean, if I was staff, I would go back and I would get Julian, Doc, and tell him, sorry mate, you're coming with us. We need your skills, because they are not doing very well. So we will have antibiotics, which I think gives us, so he's got a D8. See, we're going to burn through the antibiotics just to give him bonus. He's got the medical kit, which gives a +2, which goes to D8 goes to a D10, and then painkillers automatically gives 1 back. So we'll burn through 1 lot of painkillers, which takes a 7, which means that Jane is already up by 1. So we administer some painkillers. Jane comes round. She's got a banging headache at the moment. We can use antibiotics, which give us another +2. No, that's only in infections and diseases. So we need to do that after the fact. So let's see what happens. 1 hit. So she's okay. She's treated, and so that was 1 hit. She's treated, and she gets an extra 1 point back. Now I've also, because I was rereading it, I've been doing 1 point per shift. It's not 1 point per shift. It's 1 point per day that you get back, not 1 point per shift. Jane's feeling rough. Jane's got a bad headache. Jane is not feeling too good. They will have. Let's do. I think Jack is still their best mechanic. Tech D10 D8. That's Toby. Jack D12 D10. Yes. Jack is their best mechanic. So Jack is going to go and have a look at the Jeep that the marauders turned up on. If he gets a hit, we'll say it's okay. Now, if I remember rightly, it was down in reliability because its axle got hit. No, so he will push that. So he's under it, really scrabbling around trying to get it to work. So this is a intelligence roll. So if he gets a fail, he'll get stressed. He does get stressed. So he gets stressed by trying to do this as quickly as possible. Where's stress? 1 stress. But he also gets a success. So that push worked, which means he is able to get the Jeep up and running. So the Jeep's going. It's got enough fuel, though it's got a couple of bullet holes in the windscreen and it's quite bloody on the front seat because he's had to pull 2 bodies out of it. But he has got it going. So they'll take the Jeep back up into a rock claw. Because then staff can use that tomorrow. They will, so Jack is doing that. Toby's looking after Jane. Staff will start scavenging stuff about and he will get Jacob to help him. So they'll collect up the weapons, put it into the back of the Jeep. As Jack is getting the Jeep up and running, Toby is seeing to Jane and making sure Jane's okay and Jane is recovering. So that's what's basically happening at the end of the evening shift. And they will come back up into Rocklaw and they will stay in Rocklaw overnight. We will say, so this happened just outside Rocklaw, so it's a negligible journey to get to Rocklaw. We will say that the vehicle can already be gleaned as being because staff, so it's no longer hidden, so hidden doesn't count because they moved it, but it is comfortable inside and people can get some sleep inside. And so staff will tell Jane to sleep. Staff hasn't slept this week, today. So staff needs to sleep during this period of time. Staff is going to sleep. Who has slept? Toby has slept, so Toby's going to keep watch. Jacob has slept, so Jacob can help keep watch. And Jack is going to sleep. So Jane, Jack and staff are sleeping. Toby and Jacob are keeping watch. Who is the best out of the 2 of them? I reckon giving a +1 for watch isn't too dodgy. So watch is recon. So Toby Jones has a D10 D10 for intelligence and recon. Jacob has a D8 D8. So Toby is going to keep watch. D10 D10 +1 for Jacob. D12 D10 +2 for the binoculars. They're going to need a second set of binoculars because these are going to get damaged soon. I think if we roll a miss, a double miss on watch, we will say the binoculars get broken, which gives a D12 D12. It is nighttime because they are doing watch at night, and I think that gives minuses. Moonlight or starlight gives a -2. Oh, let's do what weather is. If it's rainy, that goes even worse. No, it's same as it is, so I think it's still, yep, it's cloudy. It's cloudy, so that would be a -2. Now it did go, so technically because of adding stuff up, it went to a D12 D12 +1. So taking 2 off will take it to a D12 D10. If my maths wrong, please put it down in the bottom. So this is for Toby keeping watch and Jacob is helping. We have a miss, 0 hits. All right, now let's see what sort of encounter we get. We'll only give them an encounter which is in a base type one because we're not actually moving anywhere and it's an overnight. And we are technically in Rocklaw. What do we have? On the road, daytime or nighttime, smell of victory, a dozen car wrecks, oh yeah, so we've got to be moving. A dozen car wrecks, so this is 4 of hearts. That helps me when editing because sometimes I can't see it. A dozen car wrecks, all burnt out with charred corpses inside. Okay, yeah, so that we don't find that one. So there's no encounter on that. Cool. So, new day, which means that cut was because I just gave everyone XP. Basically, I gave everyone 4 XP each, just to, because we haven't done XP, mentioned it in this series. So if you've never done XP for Twilight 2000 before, the standard thing for most free league is you run through these questions. First one is, did you participate in the session? Nobody gets an XP for that for solo gaming. Did you follow your moral code despite significant risk to yourself or others? If you do, you get 1. Did you risk or sacrifice something significant to realise your big dream? If you did, you get 1. So what I did was, because all of them participated in doing stuff, I gave them all 1 each for both of those questions. So 1 each for the joint of both those questions, because I either fulfilled one or the other, so they just got 1. Did you travel through at least 1 hex on the travel map you had not visited before? Yes, they did. They got 1. Did you overcome 1 or more dangerous events using violent or non-violent means? Yes, they did. They get 1. Did you risk your life for the PC who is your buddy? Well, it's hard when you're solo playing to do the buddy system, but yes, they did. So they got 1. So they all got 4 XP each. So, new day, morning, 13th of May. First off, what's the weather like on the 13th of May as they wake up in the morning and start eating their boring MREs? It is good. It's a sunny day. It's a sunny day today. They haven't had a sunny day in ages. So it's a good day, which means they will be fine for traveling and helping them out. We said they had some food over here. We will say they all eat. I will make a note they eat. They have 3 days worth of food left apart from what's on them themselves. So the collective supplies in the back of the Bradley, they have 3 days left. So they have eaten. During today, we will say at the end of the day, if Jane rests 1 slot and doesn't do anything, no, if Jane just rests at least 1 slot, she can recover 1 hit point. They can all recover 1 hit point. So they won't get 1 for yesterday, but they will get 1 today if they all have rested and they don't do anything strenuous. So I'll write heal everyone for the end of day activity. Just to show you, to expose. So what I normally do is I write out the morning, day, evening, night, and then everyone's name to say what it is, and then any reminders what to do at the end of the day. And then I say at the beginning of the day where they've eaten, and today is the 13th of May. What day of the week it is on the 13th of May, I think they've kind of lost track, but I'll look it up and I'll put it down here if I remember to. So what we will do is we've got the 13th of May now. Staff is going to want to set off. Strictly speaking, he would have normally taken Jane with him because Jane has good eyes to keep to watch Staff's back, and Staff trusts Jane. But Jane is Jane is crippled. Jane is significantly injured and has a splitting headache today. So Jane has a headache today. He's going to minimise what she does today. So Staff is going to go off first thing to go and scout this out, because that base has not had that 8 people return, or the other 2, so they're 10 men down, and well, 10 persons down, because we'll mix genders between who was in that scone, but majoritarily because of it was the 1990s. Though this is America, the American forces, and we did say that they started to recruit women in their frontline forces, even though they didn't do that for another 10 years based on timeline, in real life. So Staff is going to take the explore option, or the travel. Staff is taking the travel, isn't it? It's going to drive. Probably he will want to take Jack because he knows Jack, and then leaving Toby and Jacob. Toby to look after Jane, and Jacob to watch them all. So Jacob is going to keep watch. Toby is going to do medical stuff. Jane is going to take this opportunity to, maybe Toby isn't going to do medical. Jane is going to rest because Jane isn't recovering from a critical injury. It's just a normal injuries. So Jane is resting, so Jane can get the hit points back. And Toby, oh, they've still got that prisoner. We might, Rocklaw, the inhabitants of Rocklaw, we will do a roll for them after we've had staff travel and see if the inhabitants of Rocklaw might just do away with this person because of what they did to the inhabitants of Rocklaw. But Toby needs to fix the M240. The M240, if I remember rightly, is done for, and Toby's M16 is really interesting. So Toby is going to do weapons repair, which will make Toby happy because Toby is Toby's very much mechanically minded, very much looks after things. He's keeping the Bradley going, but keeping the Bradley going then goes in line with like keeping the weapons going, keeping the things going to keep them going. We might give Toby a chance to learn weapons maintenance, weapons repair. So they all have taken some damage. If they've all like got an ease, staff is okay. Jack has got 2 damage on him and 1 stress. All right, so they've got their Jeep. They've got the Marauders Jeep, and we'll say it's definitely going to have enough fuel to get back. The fuel tank wasn't hit and it didn't blow up. So the Jeep is going to travel down. It's though we said what it was. Oh no, that's because that was a Soviet Jeep that blew up on the first instance. The UAZ. This is the US M151, which is basically statistically almost identical. So they're going to pile into one of those. Jack and staff. It can take a crew of, so they would have had people piled on the sides of it as well, which would basically be cargo. So I don't think those 8 people could have fitted in one Jeep anyway, not realistically, but you know. Sorry. Fuel capacity 65, so it'd be low on fuel. All right, it can travel 10 hexes, it says. So we want to drive up close. So we'll take 1 shift to drive. Following the road, we've got 1, we can go 1, 2, 3, and this is where we will be disembarking. So for the morning, we're driving to here, which means that Jack, let's see who's got the best driving out of the pair of them. We've got Jack, who can't drive. Can neither of them drive. Staff can't drive. Both have a D10. So Jack is going to drive. Staff is going to keep watch as they're driving. So we'll do a driving roll first, which is, that's Jack, which is a D10. So Jack is going to attempt to drive. So this is making sure they don't get into any problems. They might have a problem if we roll badly on this. They don't. Nice. So Jack is driving fine, sticks to the roads, avoids the potholes. The roads are badly kept. The tarmac is cracked. So basically nobody has, so this is, rather than this is battle damage, this is just wear and tear. This is apocalypse. There's no one doing road repairs. There's no one filling in potholes that naturally form. The rain and the wind and the cold is causing there to be natural damage occurring to the roads. And there are no teams going over and repairing this damage. No one is cleaning off the grass. So basically scrub land is starting to come up between the cracks, and it's causing the road to be a bit tricky to drive down. Jack is maneuvering that perfectly and with perfect skill. Next we need to have, oh hold on, I'll write down 1 hit. What do we have? So we know that staffs are good at keeping watch. Where's staff? Staff's watch, we will say that they will be definitely taking the binoculars. That means they do not have the binoculars back. We really need to find some other binoculars for someone. So we'll go so it's daytime, it's sort of good weather. They are traveling, so we'll knock 2 off. So we'll go the binoculars with +2, traveling in the Jeep knocks down 2. We've got D12, D10, 1 hit. See, if we've got 2 of those, then the binoculars would have been broken. 1 hit for the watch. We will pull out staff and Jack's encounter now. and then we'll go back and we will do Jacob doing his weapon repair and Jacob being on watch. Jane is resting. I think Jane could do so. Jane's not got. We'll look at Jane's skill sets and see if she has any technical skills. Maybe Jane can help Toby with weapons maintenance. Jack of Spades. Hammer of God. PCs ×1. So this is travelling. Right. So we got 1 hit for staff on watch. The Soviet recon team ambushes the PCs. 1 has an SVD sniper rifle with 1 reload. The Soviets get +3 bonus to the opposed recon roll for +3 bonus recon roll for the ambush. As soon as the Soviets spot the PCs, they call in artillery fire from howitzer located 3-inch hexaway with 2d6 HE rounds. All right then. So we will roll a recon roll +3 for a Soviet team. They need to get more than 1 hit to ambush our 2, otherwise we'll say the 2 get away scot-free. We will do that. I'll put that over here. Yeah, I'll put that over here, which means that this isn't in the deck for the other 2. So let's quickly do. So Jacob's going to attempt to do repairs on the M240, which went down to 0 reliability if I remember rightly, and Toby's own M16, which is also down to 1 reliability. That's because I had the M240 on 0, but I remembered on Jacob's last shot, which he took out the inhabitants of the Jeep, he took it down to 0 reliability. So Toby has tools. Toby is going to roll his D10, which is his base. Where's the other? Oh, here it is. D10, which is his base ability. He has tools, which we do. Did we have +1 for that or +2? I don't think they're proper tools for doing. Oh no, well, gun maintenance tools. Because I was thinking about it. Also, this was during the week. You get a cleaning kit, don't you? But I don't know if that would involve the tools to actually do repairs. I think you'd need proper stuff because he might need to bore stuff out and stuff like that. So it's not going to be easy. So whatever tools he's got, we'll give him +1 for that. He's got at least got tools. He's not needing to fashion stuff together. They are tools. So first off, we'll do the M240. Every hit, by the way, gets the reliability back up to 1. Back up by 1. No hits. He could push it and then he could try and hurt himself. But this is, oh, he hasn't got D10, he's got D10, D8. So that's so +2, +1. So D10, D8 is a D10, D10. So he failed the first one. He's going to push, otherwise this is going to be stressful. He gets a hit. Okay, so he doesn't take any damage, but that means that the M240 is now able to be used, but it still only has a reliability of 1. So it's going to need more work done on it. And then his M16, which is at the moment got a reliability of 1. He gets 3 hits on his M16 because he knows those really well, putting the reliability back to 4 for his own personal M16. Let's see, what else might they have had? He will also just go through and do, Staff would have taken his L96 with him. Jane's hunting rifle is okay. Jack's got his with him. Jacob's, everything is okay. It's just the M16. So also Toby would be going through the weapons that they're giving to the people of Rockport and fixing that stuff up. And then let's see, what does Jane have? Jane's got stuff. Jane's skill set, she's mainly just a very physical person. Medical aid is the only stuff she's got. Can she do medical aid on herself? She's got enough experience points. She's got 12 experience points. Maybe we can boost her D to a C for medical aid, consuming 10 experience points, boosting her D to a C, and then she can do stuff on herself. So she is going to tend to herself. We're going to take 10 of her XP, which takes the D to a C, making it a D8, D8. She will just use the medical kit, but she's not going to use anything within it, taking it to a D10, D10. So she's going to do medical aid on herself. I don't know if it will give her a +1 hit point. I don't think it will. It doesn't anyway because she fails. But she's just tending to her wounds, making sure she's okay, complaining to herself that she didn't get to go off with Staff, and then no one's there watching over Staff, and she's a bit worried about that. And then finally we have Jacob, who is on watch. Jacob's intelligence is an 8, his recon is an 8, so he just gets a D8 D8. They have nothing, so he's doing a little bit of patrol and watching around and climbing up and keeping an eye out to make sure nothing's coming. He gets 2 hits. And we'll do their encounter, and then we'll switch over, and then we'll see what happens with the Hammer of the Gods, and whether they're going to get hit by a team of a sniper. Basically, that's a sniper, and well, it's a designated marksman, so it's not a distant sniper, and the sniper's spotter, I guess. Forest fire outside in the wilderness, daytime encampment, forest fire. So they're in the ruins at the moment. Maybe he can see like some smoke off in the distance, but it's not really going to affect them very much. So they have no encounter for that bit. Now, okay, so we have the Hammer of God. So we've switched back. So what we did, so as I always like to do, it's like I'm doing a TV series. So what we would have seen, the Jeep moving along with Staff and Jack chatting to each other. All right, Jack, keep your eyes out, mate. As Staff is then keeping watch. Staff is using the binoculars, even though it's travelling. So Staff gets the 1 hit, and then we see off in the trees in the distance 2 Soviet troopers who are camouflaged up. And then we see the sniper sort of zoom in with the scope. And does the glint of the scope get noticed by Staff? Now this is the recon roll of these. Now they have sprung a trap, so they are Soviet soldiers, which gives them a recon of C, which is a D8, and intelligence of C, which is a D8. Is over here. But they get +3, which takes it to a D12, D10. Do the 2, the spotter and his designated marksman get the drop on Jack and Staff, or does Staff get a chance to do a shout? Jack can then drive out the way, and the shot will say they'll give them a shot, and if they get multiple hits, then they can hit the car. Staff gets 1 hit. So because Staff gets 1 hit, they got 1 hit. The Staff doesn't avoid them, he would need 2 hits to avoid them. They don't ambush them, they would need 2 hits to ambush them. They get 1 each, so we will declare that as a draw. They get to do a shot, but Staff and Jack can attempt to still drive away. So Staff and Jack are attempting to drive away. We'll draw initiatives to see who gets to go first. If Staff and Jack get to go first, then they get to avoid. They get to make it harder, so they need more hits to hit. How's that? We'll give them sort of it's running away minuses on the ranged hit. And what time is it? This is going to be about half hour. I think because the last one was so long, this one I'll do shorter. So Staff and Jack go on to 7. The Soviets go on to 2. Okay, so the Soviets get to do a normal shot, and then Staff and Jack get to drive away. There's a possibility that one of them might get hit. Okay, so they have an SVD sniper rifle. We are going to make them just standard soldiers. So they have range combat C, agility B, D10, D8. D10, D8, let's grab the SVD, because an SVD may have, even though if it's a standard, it might have a rate of fire higher than 1. I doubt it. It's just a short range marksman's weapon, if I remember Battlefront. That's another one of my learning tools. Was it Battlefront? SVD, yes, rate of fire of 2. Okay, so using the rate of fire of 2 means it gets 1 dice. D10, D8. We would say if this is a designated sniper, then they'll have a sniper talent. So we will give them a D10, D10, which seems fair. We will say that because they spotted each other, what sort of range has this got? Range of 10? which from one of these maps is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that would be 10, so that's 100. All right, let's say that is still within standard short range, so still within one range increment, so we won't give them -1 for that. For the range increment, we won't give them a minus for a quick shot. We will give them a minus because they're in the vehicle. Maybe they're trying to do a cooled shot, so we'll give them a -2, and it's a moving target -1, so they get a -3 because they're trying to shoot Jack in the head. So -3 would go so -2 goes to D8 D8, -3 goes to D8 D6. D8 D6. The sniper is attempting to hit Jack as the driver and misses. Only fires 1 shot out of the potential 2, I think, and misses. And because the sniper is a NPC, does not get to push. And then we'll do Jack. He's going to do his D10, which is attempting to drive away. He will go off-road, and we will give them another roll to shoot at them. But we will then do that at medium range, and we'll add another -1 because, so taking it to a D6, I think. So -1 would be a D6, D6, -2 would be D6. As long as he gets a hit. He gets a hit. He doesn't even need to push it. Okay, so Jack comes off-road quickly, starts going up and down. We'll give Staff a shot, and we will give the Soviets a shot. So Staff is going to get a shot because he spotted them. As the thing goes off, Staff has his SVD. Staff has got D12, D12. We will say, we said, because it's got a longer range than an SVD, because it's a range of 12, which means it's still in the correct range. He's not going to do a cold shot. The target is in full cover, going to a D10, D8. D10, D8. He is firing from a moving vehicle, which goes to a D8, D6. I think that's it. But he doesn't get the dice, so he gets a D8, D6. Is that enough? Oh no, I'm going to drop that down to a D6, D6 because it's a moving vehicle. They're in cover. It's an ambush. Failing, he could try pushing it, but that'll damage the SVD. Damage the L96, and so he isn't going to push that. So he's done that. He's done that. So that would be a round 2. The round 2 is the sniper position. We'll try and take another shot. Still gets their 1d6. I think this one will roll down to just a d6 again. You never know, he could hit. No, missing again. Jack is going to attempt to drive again. Getting another hit. Jack is putting nose of distance. Staff will get 1 shot. I'm going to give Staff just a d6 for this shot. Staff will get another shot. Or we can do 2d6 because it was still the same. So Staff will go first before Jack drives off again. He gets 2d6 to try and shoot them. And then they've evaded the ambush. He gets a hit. Staff hits the dude. Alright, Staff hits the dude with the SVD. If he gets a headshot, if I roll a headshot for this, we'll say that he kills the sniper. He doesn't know it, but he's killed the sniper. In the legs. Okay, so the bullet, let's say it's the spotter, is getting up to try and relocate to see if they can get a better shot. As that happens, Staff cracks off a shot towards their general direction. It comes off, so let's say they had put up some metal sheeting, which they'd then camouflaged to protect themselves. It clips the side of the sheeting and scores across the front shins of the spotter, which puts the spotter down on his knees because of that shot going through. Let's make them do we'll give them, because they're a sniper team, we'll give them a D10 cornice under fire, CUF, not CFU. They succeed. Okay, so they succeed in in keeping their head down, which is why the sniper got to take a shot. But the Jeep has gone out of the way, the guy's gone down, and I would say, based on the fact that the staff made a hit from a moving vehicle, it might put them off wanting to follow, and instead they will keep their heads down and let staff and Jack get away in the Jeep. And so staff and Jack will get away in the Jeep, which means that they will get to position themselves and start to investigate the marauders encampment during the day on the 13th of May. So I'm going to put here, so what we'll do is next session we'll do the day of the 13th of May. Staff will investigate the marauder camp with Jack, which is the explore one, and back at Rocklaw we'll have Jane, Toby and Jacob will probably try and question that bloke, or find out the Rocklaw people have possibly hung him. Let's see how that happens next time in our next session of Twilight 2000. Thank you very much for watching. If you're a subscriber, thank you very much for being a subscriber. If you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing. Any support you could give me would be fantastic. You can do the super thanks things. Just watching is enough support, and I thank you very much for watching. Support further, it is possible to become a member. There's a tab on the view screen, otherwise there's a link in the description, and you can become a member, and that's an awesome support, and thank you very much to the members for all your support. I will be beginning to do members only content, and I'm going to ask the members what they would like for members only content. At the moment I'm thinking of bringing back The Walking Dead as members only content, for example. Just thinking at the moment. But anyway, thank you very much for your support, thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you next time for more Twilight 2000. See ya.